Welcome to The Pastor Who Hated Church. Follow Elvis Jung on his journey of redemption. Chapter 5. Elvis woke the next morning to a bright sun and a deep blue sky. It brought a warmth that seemed to calm his very spirit. He felt blessed to live in a place that had a lot of sun. When he arrived at his office, he opened the blinds to let the sun brighten his normally dreary office. Elvis hoped to avoid people. He was afraid of the next attack. Paul Wilson burst into his office around 10. "I heard you had a great time with the Grand Poobahs last night. I also heard you were your usual charming self. Very nice," said Paul. "I don't want to think about it." "I guess you don't. I swear you're trying to get fired," said Paul with a laugh. Elvis glared at Paul. "I didn't do anything. I don't get this at all. What did I do? Do I have a kick me sign on my back or something? Let me give you a piece of advice. The first rule in being a minister in this church, keep your big mouth shut. You may have the best idea in the world. It doesn't matter. Everyone else may be wrong. It doesn't matter. Keep your mouth shut. It's as simple as that. Then how am I supposed to get anything done? I swear you're too stupid to live. Think about it. I wanted to have my Sunday school curriculum used in the adult classes. You needed my back. It's called politics," said Paul. "This is a church. So? Shouldn't we, live to a higher standard?" "It certainly seems to be working for you so far," said Paul. Elvis shook his head in dismay. "No doubt. I'm telling you, take my advice. You'll last a whole lot longer that way. By the way, thanks for pushing my material in the meeting. From what I hear, 8 or 9 classes are going to use it. That's awesome. I owe you one. Tell me if you need anything," said Paul. "Can you fix things with Harlan the Terrible?" Paul laughed. "That's awesome. I've never heard that one before. I like it. Harlan the Terrible. Oh, by the way, I heard Martha set you up with Chelsea Troy." "Yeah, we're going for coffee tonight." "What do you think of her?" "I don't know what to think. I don't even know the girl. Do you know her?" Paul looked out the window as though lost in thought. He nodded. "Yep. Obviously, she's like part of the royal family in this church. She's nice enough. We even went out a couple of times." "Oh, I hope I'm not treading on toes or anything," said Elvis. That was the last thing he needed. "Nah, we didn't last. Actually, if you want to know the truth, she's a bit of a groupie." "A what?" "A pastor groupie. She's in love with pastors. She wants to be a pastor's wife. It's like her dream or something. When I first got here, she latched on to me like instantly. At first it was flattering. She's good looking, a nice personality, so I figured, why not? Then she got clingy. It was too much, so I had to end it. You probably know what I mean. If you like clingy, then maybe she's the girl for you," said Paul. "I'm not really sure what to do. Think about it. If I married her, I'd be Harlan the Terrible's nephew-in-law." Elvis shivered. Paul laughed. "I know, right? Then again, it's just coffee." "True. Just be careful. The last thing you need in this place is a woman scorned," said Paul as he slipped out the door. Elvis's eyes widened. "I hadn't thought of that." Elvis pulled into the parking lot of Wesley Christ School and searched for the office. The school secretary was a severe-looking middle-aged woman. She sat at her desk as the teachers and students bustled around the office. "Are you looking for your child?" she said without looking up at Elvis. Elvis cleared his throat. No. I'm actually here to meet a teacher, Chelsea Troy." The secretary looked up. "And you are?" "Elvis Jung. We arranged to meet here after school." The secretary looked him over. "So you're the new associate pastor at Evergreen. Wait here, I'll see if she's still in her classroom." She got up and paged Chelsea's room. There was no response. She paged again. No response. Then she called over the school intercom. "Miss Troy, there's a young gentleman here to see you. Please come to the office." Elvis could hear the oohs and ahs from students in the hallway. A couple of them looked in the office to see this young gentleman for themselves. Elvis blushed. Chelsea strode confidently into the office. When she saw Elvis, she smiled. "Hi, You made it! Great, she said. I have to run to my classroom for a second. If you want to, you can come along. Check out the place. Elvis felt obliged to go. Together they strode the hallways packed with children. A few of the girls giggled at Elvis. A couple of boys glared. Chelsea led them into a classroom filled with old wooden desks. A graphic displayed a cursive alphabet bordered the top of 2 walls of the room. The chalkboards were filled with math problems. I'll just take a second. What do you think of our little school? It's nice. How long have you taught here? 4 years now. I've been here my whole career, said Chelsea. What led you into teaching? Well, I prayed about it, obviously. I love children and I love teaching, so it was a natural thing to do, you know? Sometimes we make such a big deal out of finding God's will, but we never look at our gifts. If God gifts us to do things, then it's only natural that's what we should do. It doesn't have to be so complicated all the time. That makes sense. What led you to the ministry? That's a loaded question, mumbled Elvis. We have the time, said Chelsea with a smile. Well, it wasn't something I planned to do. It's certainly not what my parents wanted me to do. Oh, really? Why not? They're atheists. Oh, said Chelsea. She looked concerned. Any brothers or sisters? Nah, it's just me. They wanted me to be something. I don't know. Something other than a pastor. They're both really successful. I think that's what they wanted for me, too. They're convinced religion's a huge waste of life. But you have gifts for ministry. I suppose. I guess when I became a Christian, everything fell into place. Elvis looked at Chelsea as she packed up for the day. Her beauty was intoxicating. Before he knew it, they were at the coffee shop sipping cappuccinos. That's so awesome. How do you like Evergreen so far? It's okay, I guess, said Elvis. Chelsea tilted her head and gave Elvis a knowing look. It's been hard, I know. Last night Uncle Harlan gave you a rough time. I hope he doesn't sour your opinion of us. He means well. He's a very serious man. He certainly has a way about him. That's putting it mildly. He has a strong sense of what's right. He got it from his dad. Did you know Grandpa Finnegan founded Evergreen Community Church? He did, 75 years ago. It was him and the Troy family. That's my dad's family. Back then it was a country church. When the developers moved in 30 years ago, things changed in a hurry. I think that's why Uncle Harlan acts the way he does. He doesn't want to see the church forget its heritage. You can preserve the history of a church and still move forward, said Elvis. That's easier said than done. When Grandpa Finnegan and Grandpa Troy founded Evergreen, it was the only community church in the area. They were the founding members of the denomination. They also started the community construction crew. It was a group that went around and helped communities that were hit by floods and tornadoes and stuff. Then there's the Evergreen Mission downtown. They were the first to set up an alcohol rehab in the city. Now it's all gone, Chelsea said. I didn't know they did all that stuff. Why did it stop? No one really knows. When I grew up, Daddy used to take me to sing at the mission at Christmas. On Thanksgiving, we used to go down and serve at the soup kitchen. Then, after Grandpa Finnegan passed away, Uncle Harlan became the chairman of the deacons and we stopped supporting things like the mission. I don't get it, said Elvis. Why? I never really knew. Don't get me wrong, it was a great church to grow up in. We used to have church retreats and fancy dinners. I used to hide in the baptistry with Steve Pasaglia when I was little. Who's Steve Pasaglia? Chelsea smiled. Why, are you jealous? We were 9. It was fun to listen to people in the sanctuary as they tried to find us. Anyway, I spent my entire life at Evergreen. It's family. That sounds like it would have been cool. We never had that growing up. We went on vacations and stuff, but it was always just us. I can't imagine what it's like to be a part of something so big. You can now, said Chelsea. We'll see. You're not thinking of leaving already, are you? I don't know. I wonder if Archie and Harlan have it in for me, said Elvis. He immediately regretted saying that. You don't need to worry. You just need to find your place. You'll be fine. Chelsea reached out and squeezed his hand to reassure him. Perhaps. Oh, what about Nathaniel Juergens? Is he from a founding family? No, he's from the growth period of the church. Her brow furrowed. The what? He's from the part of the group that's pushing new ideas. Actually, he's the reason we have an associate pastor. Uncle Harlan didn't think we needed one. Education and worship aren't considered all that important. Well, you'll prove him wrong. The two sat and stared blankly during a lull in the conversation. Elvis realized he had spent a lot of time talking, but learned very little about her. "Do you have brothers and sisters?" he asked. "One of each. Older brother and younger sister. Bruce is a co-pilot with a small airline up north. They mainly do runs in the Arctic." "Cool." "Literally. Susie works for the government. She's an actuary in the finance department." "Wow." "I know. I'm just the teacher," sighed Chelsea. "That's awesome." "I know. It's just amazing to think how we've all grown up and moved on with our lives. It's like you wake up one day and boom, everything's changed." I blinked. "Change isn't bad." Chelsea thought about that for a second. "Growth is good. Every other kind of change is bad. It's decay. I think that's why I like teaching. You can see kids growing and learning. You know the best feeling? When they come back years later just to visit. The longer I teach, I hope to see kids come back and visit old Mrs. Whatever," said Chelsea. "That actually sounds nice. You sound surprised." "Teaching's never really appealed to me," said Elvis. "Education's a big part of what you do." "I mean school teaching. I couldn't teach children." "I don't know." "I guess it's not your gift," said Chelsea. "No, it probably isn't." "What time is it?" "5:15, Elvis said. "I gotta go. I'm having dinner with my parents tonight." "Oh, I didn't mean to keep you." "You didn't. It was fun," said Chelsea. Her smile was warm. "Yeah, we've got to do this again sometime." "I'd like that," said Chelsea as she stood to leave. "Next time we should have dinner." "Okay, I'll call you." "You better. I know where you work," said Chelsea with a wink. Elvis watched her leave. Paul doesn't know what he's talking about, he thought to himself. Thank you for listening to The Pastor Who Hated Church, written by Timothy G.A. Cooper, narrated by Greg Cooper. Tune in next week to hear the next chapter in Elvis Jung's Tale of Redemption.